Stretching too much, I don't think
Well,
it can hurt.
you hope that, but at the same time, like with my hip, there are certain things I could physically do, and it might not really hurt when I do it, but later it will hurt from doing it.
Really?
So, yeah. And it's because it's the cartilage, right? So if you have arthritis or a tear in the cartilage in any joint, moving the joint too much in a certain way could rub that spot and aggravate and then give you inflammation, right? So it is a good idea to pay attention as we do these different movements each day. If certain ones are making you feel a little worse, then you may need to modify them even more. So like for me, the knock knee and the clam one, I pretty much just don't even do that one. I can do knees side to side gently as long as I don't have my knees too close to my body, but anything past like a 90-degree angle and it'll throw me into a flare up for sure. So good idea for everybody to just pay attention to that. Like if there's a certain movement that we've done and later that day you're feeling a little more pain than usual, make sure you let me know so we can figure out how we can modify the movement for you. But if it was the same, then we'll cross our fingers and hope you'll be okay to keep doing those ones.
Right.
So today we're going to be working with neck and shoulders though, and I think it'll be best for everyone to sit actually to start today. So you can either sit on the floor, however you feel comfortable, or sit in a chair. If you should have 2 chairs beside you if you're going to stay in your chair the whole time. And if you're going to sit on the floor, just for the first part, just sit however you feel comfortable. Okay. So you know how we always start with our body scan. Today we're going to do our body scan a couple of times because we'll do it with our torso twist and we'll do it right now at the beginning, but in a sitting position. So just find a nice comfortable way to be sitting. And I'm going to mute everybody. And then go ahead and close your eyes And starting at the top of your head, just think about how your head and your neck and shoulders feel today as you're sitting. And then nice and slowly turn your head just a little bit to one side. And then hold for just a moment, and then gently begin to turn your head back to center, and then go right through center and turn to the other side. And then come back to center. And then just pause for a moment. And now I want you to tip your chin down towards your chest. So just gently, small movement, just tipping your chin down. And now bring it back up nice and slow. And pause and center. And then tip your head back just a little bit. And bring it back to center. And pause. And now we're just going to take a nice deep breath in this position. So nice big inhale. And then exhale. And then think about your shoulders and how they feel today. And then just lift them just a little tiny bit. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Hold them for just a second. And now super slowly let them come back down. Nice and slow. And then just rest. And moving down through your body now, thinking about how your chest feels and your stomach. And let's take another breath here and feel in our torsos how our low backs feel today. So nice big inhale again. And exhale. And moving through your pelvis, and think about how you're seated right now. And how your sit bones feel on the floor or your chair. And then moving through your legs. And we're going to start with some flatten and tilts, but we're going to be doing them sitting today. So we'll start with our flatten. So we're going to think of bringing your pubic bone towards your ribs and your ribs down, tightening in your tummy as your low back will be pressing behind you, either into your chair or just pressing back behind you. Holding for a moment. And now super slowly inhaling as you slowly release your tummy muscles. Super slow. And then rest. And repeating that one again, starting with an inhale first. And exhale as you tighten your tummy muscles, bringing your pubic bone upwards towards your ribs, pulling your ribs down, tightening in your tummy muscles. And hold for a moment. And super slowly release. And rest for a moment. And now we're going to go right into putting that together with our arch. So this time, inhale and arch at the same time. So inhale, rolling your tailbone forward and down into the floor, arching your low back. Exhale, slowly releasing the arch in your back and going right into flatten at the end of that. And inhale, tummy muscles are tight. Super slowly release now in your tummy. And go right back into that arch. So a nice fluid movement between your arch and your flatten. And especially slow coming out of the movement. So slowly releasing the arch, going right back into flatten, tightening in your tummy muscles, then super slowly releasing in the tummy, super slow. At the end of the release, inhale, going back into arch again, gently tilting your tailbone forward, arching your low back. Exhale, super slowly release the contraction in your back. And come back to the neutral position. And rest. I don't know if any of you have had the chance to do that one sitting yet or not, but once you really start doing that arch and flatten a lot, you will. You'll do it standing, sitting, you'll do it all the time. Okay, so now we're going to go into the position of having the one leg in front of us and one behind us. So we're going to start with the right leg in front and the left leg behind. Position will look like, if you're sitting on the floor, remember you can do this sitting in the chair as well. If you're doing it on the floor, you're going to be sitting like that. So right leg bent in front of you, the sole of your foot will be against your left thigh and your left leg behind you. And then you're going to place your right hand either on the floor beside you or on the chair beside you. So you can lean into that hand just a little bit, taking a little bit of the weight out of your hips. And then bring your left hand up and place it on your right shoulder. Perfect. So we're going to start with a full torso turn, which will be turning our torso, our head, and our eyes towards the right. So we're going to do this with an inhale. Super slowly begin to turn your torso, your head, and your eyes to the right, only going as far as you can go comfortably. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, pause for a moment and mark somewhere with your eyes. So somewhere to mark how far you've turned. Just look at it, notice it, and super slowly now turn everything back to the front. Super slow and smooth. Turning your body, your head, and your eyes back to the front. And then pause. And then repeat that one again, turning your torso, your head, and your eyes to the right. Turning with control. And you'll notice that your left hip lifts off the floor or off of your chair as you do this turning, and that's perfect. That's what we want. Make sure you stay in your comfort zone though. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, slowly begin to turn back to the front, your torso, your head, and your eyes. And then take a moment to rest. And we're going to do one more. This time when we get to the back though, we're going to pause there. So again, turning your torso, your head, and your eyes, turning towards the back to your right. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, you're going to pause for a moment. And now super slowly with control, you're going to turn your head and your eyes to the front, but your torso will stay to the back. So head and eyes, turning slowly with control back to the front. The torso is turned to the back, and then pause for a moment. So your torso is turned to the back now, and your head and your eyes are turned to the front. And now very slowly, we're going to switch them. So your head and your eyes will now slowly begin to turn to the back as your torso slowly turns to the front. Torso turning to the front, head and eyes turning to the back. And then pause. And then super slowly reversing. So now your head and your eyes will slowly begin to come to the front as your torso slowly begins to turn to the back. Torso turning to the back, head and eyes turning to the front. When you get back to the front, pause for a moment. So you should be looking towards your left shoulder. That's excellent, everyone. Slowly, one more time, switch it again. Slowly turning your torso now to the front. Slowly turning your head and your eyes to the back. Slow and smooth as you can. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, slowly bring your head and your eyes back to the front now to match the torso. So slowly bringing your head and your eyes to the front. And then pause for just a moment. So this time we're going to turn everything to the back again and then have a pause. So turning to the right, head, torso, and eyes. Turning slowly with control to the right. Left hip will lift comfortably off the floor. A little more weight will be going into your hand as you turn. Pause for a moment. Now, keeping your head and torso turned to the back, you're going to slowly bring your eyes to the front. So slowly bringing your eyes to the front as your head and torso stay to the back. And now super slowly, you're going to reverse, but just with the head and the eyes. So the eyes will be turning towards the back as your face begins to turn to the front. And then super slowly reversing that, slowly taking your face towards the back and slowly turning your eyes to the front. And then super slowly reversing it one more time, slowly bringing your face to the front and your eyes to the back. And then super slowly reversing one more time, slowly turning your face to the back and begin to bring your eyes to the front. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, pause for a moment. And then slowly take your eyes to the back as well. So then we'll be back in the position of torso, head, and eyes all to the back. Then slowly with control, bring everything back to the front together. Head, eyes, and torso, slowly turning back to the front. And when you've come back to the front, take a moment to just rest. And then we're going to do the full torso turn again. So turning your head, your eyes, and your torso to the right. Slowly with control, turning to the back, letting your hips lift to their comfortable position. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, check for that spot that you looked, where you marked when we first did this turn, and just see where you are. And then slowly with control, turning everything back to the front. And once we're back to the front, take just a moment to rest as you slowly bring that arm down now, the one that's on your shoulder, slowly bring it down to just resting comfortably. And then we're going to switch sides. So bringing our left leg in front now, the right leg behind. And so if you are sitting in a chair, you can sort of tuck your right foot just a little bit back and then have the left foot a little bit in front. So you're like, your legs are sort of in the same position as sitting on the floor. And then we're going to be placing our left hand either on the floor beside you or on the chair beside you with a little bit of your weight now going into that hand. And then bring your right arm up and bring it to your left shoulder. And if that's uncomfortable for you, you can leave that arm in your lap. So if it's easier to do it that way, you can. Make sure you're comfortable. And we're going to start with the full torso turn. So turning our head, our face, and our eyes to the left. Slowly with control, turning to the left. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, pause for a moment and find something where your gaze is. So somewhere where your eyes are looking, something to mark how far you've turned, and then slowly with control begin to turn back to the front. And once you've come back to the front, take a moment to rest. We'll repeat that one again. Turning our face and our eyes and our torso, turning to the left. And what we're working here for, obviously, is the smoothness of this movement, but also the coordination of the head, the eyes, and the body all turning together at the same pace. When you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, slowly begin to turn everything back to the front. Slow and smooth. Head, eyes, and torso coming back to the front. And when you've come to the front, take a moment to rest. And on this next one, when you get to the back, we're going to pause, and then we'll be adding in the head and the eyes. So all together again, turning your face your eyes and your torso to the left, turning to the back. Slow and smooth. Really working for control of smoothness in the movement. And when you've gotten as far as you can go comfortably, pause for a moment. And then super slowly, you will turn your face and your eyes to the front. Your torso will stay to the back. Face and eyes slowly turning together to the front. Torso stays turned to the back. And super slowly and with control, we're going to switch these movements. So now your torso will begin to come to the front as your face and your eyes begin to turn to the back. Torso is coming forward, face and eyes turning back. When you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, pause and then reverse that movement again. Slowly bringing your face and your eyes to the front now as your torso slowly turns to the back. Super slow and smooth. Torso going to the back, face and eyes coming to the front. And super slowly, we'll reverse that again. So super slow, torso will be coming forward, head and eyes turning to the back. Slow and smooth, torso coming forward, head and eyes turning back. And then switching again, nice and slow, head and eyes coming forward now as torso goes back. And pause. And now super slowly take your head and your eyes to the back to match your torso. So torso is going to stay to the back now as your head and eyes, slow and smooth, turn to the back. When you've finished and you're at the back now, we're going to bring the eyes to the front and your face and your torso will stay to the back. So face stays back, eyes now slowly begin to move towards the front. And once you've turned your eyes to the front, we're going to be reversing just the face and the eyes. So now super slowly, taking your eyes to the back as your face begins to come forward. And then super slowly, reversing that again. So slowly begin to turn your face to the back as you slowly bring your eyes to the front. And then we're going to reverse it one more time again. So super slowly, bringing your face to the front and your eyes to the back. And then super slowly now take your face to the back to match your eyes and your torso. And then super slow and smooth when you're bringing your torso, your face, and your eyes back to the front. Slow and smooth, bringing everything back to the front again. And then just take a moment to rest. And now we're going to turn the whole body again. So turning your head, your eyes, and your torso, turning to the left, nice and slow and smooth, moving all together. Letting that hip lift comfortably. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, check and see where your gaze is at now compared to where it was when we did the first turn. And then super slow and smooth, turn everything back to the front. Slow and smooth, moving all together. And when you've come back to the front, then you will slowly begin to lower that arm back down into either your lap or on the floor, somewhere where it's comfortable. Very nice. Okay, we will be doing some more torso turning, but first we're going to add in a movement for your upper trapezius. So anyone that's on the floor, I want you to go back to more of a neutral position. So whether that's sitting with your feet crossed or your legs in front of you, or on a chair if you need to. And I'm going to switch to camera for a second. So to get into that upper trapezius, you have to do 3 movements. So we're going to start by turning our face to the left just a little bit. So turning our head to the left. And then you're going to tip your head back and now lift your right shoulder back and up towards the back of your head. And just do it gently. Don't do the movement too big. And now super slowly release the shoulder and release the tilt in your head. And then super slowly bring your face back to the front. And then just rest for a moment. If it's uncomfortable for you, the other thing you can do is put a pillow under your arms if your arms aren't feeling rested where they're sitting right now. So we're going to do that same movement to the opposite side now. So we're going to be turning our face to the right, tilting your head back, and lifting your shoulder up and back towards the back of your head. Hold for a moment and super slowly release. Slowly releasing the tilt in your head, slowly letting your shoulder come down. And then slowly bringing your face back to the front. And then just take a moment to rest. And when we do this next sequence, we're going to do them again. I'd like you to really notice if there's a difference from one side to the other side. So starting with turning our face to the left this time again. So turning to the left, tilting your head back, lifting your shoulder up and back towards the back of your head. Hold for a moment. Super slowly lower your head, slowly lowering the shoulder. Slow and smooth. And then slowly bringing your face back to the front. And then again to the other side. So turning our face to the right, tilting your head back, lifting your shoulder up and back towards the back of your head. Hold for a moment and super slowly begin to lower. Slowly lowering the shoulder, slowly lowering the tilt of your head. Slow and smooth. And then slowly bring your face back to the front. And then take a moment to rest. Most of us will notice a significant difference in one side to the other. And if you're right-handed, it's probably the right side that will feel a little stickier than the other side. For this next one, as long as you're still staying in your comfort zone, you're going to be lifting your elbow a little bit with the shoulder. So we're going to turn the head first to the left, tilt the head back. And now as you lift your shoulder towards the back of your head, think of lifting that elbow with it just a little bit. Slowly now begin to lower. Lowering the shoulder and the elbow. Slowly. At the end, bringing your face back to the front. And pause. And then turning to the right for the last one, turning to the right, tilt the head back, lift your shoulder up towards the back of your head and lift the elbow just a little bit, lifting the elbow at the same time. And super slowly, untilting the head, slowly lowering the shoulder and the elbow. And then slowly bringing your face back to the front. And I encourage you all to try to remember that one, and you'll love that one too. And it's a good idea to be able to do it sometimes with either a pillow on your lap to rest so that your elbows are resting. So there's not so far for that shoulder to come down before you can really rest. Or you can do it like, I don't know if you can see, but I've got arms on the chair, so I'm able to rest my elbows on the arm of the chair as I'm doing that one. I can lift the elbow and then it can rest on the arm of the chair. Okay, so now we're gonna go into one more torso twist on each side, and then we're gonna finish with an arch and curl, but in a sitting position. So we're gonna do right foot in front of us first again. So right foot will be coming in front, left foot going to the back, and then resting the right hand on the floor or the chair beside you. Bringing the left hand up to your right shoulder, as long as that's comfortable. And we're going to turn our torso, our head, and our eyes to the right, nice and slow with control. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, just pause and gaze with your eyes where you're at, and then slowly come back to the front. Head, eyes, and torso turning smoothly together. And then slowly bringing your arm down once you've come back to the front, nice and slow. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring the left foot to the front, the right foot to the back. And you'll rest your left hand either on the floor or the chair beside you. And your right hand will come up to your left shoulder. And slowly turning the torso, the head, and the eyes. Turning to the back. Nice and slow and smooth. And when you've gone as far as you can go comfortably, take a gaze, see where you're at. And then nice and slow, bringing your head, your torso, and your eyes back to the front. And then once everything is back to the front, you're going to go with your legs being in a more neutral position again, because we're going to do an arch and curl, but we're going to be doing it sitting. So we're going to bring our hands up behind the head if you can do that comfortably. And if not, one arm could stay lower if you need it to. So we're going to start with the inhale and arch. So inhale, think of bringing your belly button forward and down into your chair. Shoulders will press back into your chair or into the air behind you. Hold for just a moment. Super slowly release the contraction in your back now as you exhale. Super slow. And then going into that soft curl position by tightening in your abdominal muscles, bringing your elbows together and tuck your chin down gently. So you're doing the soft curl, but doing it sitting. And then super slowly coming back, sitting upright, nice and slow. And then going right into the arch again. Inhaling and arching, pressing your belly button will be going forward. And this time tilt your head back a little bit too. So head is tilted back, shoulders are back, low back is arched. Exhale now as you super slowly releasing your back and your neck. Slow and smooth. And at the end of the release, going into the contraction, tightening your abdominals, bringing the elbows together, doing a soft curled position. And then super slowly coming out of that curl, slowly releasing in your tummy muscles. And when you've come back to neutral, slowly bringing your arms down. Bring the elbows down first. And then slowly let your fingers and arms come down to a neutral position, resting beside you. And now we're going to go into the same body scan that we did at the beginning of class. So however you were sitting at the beginning of class today for your body scan, you should be sitting again now, whether that's in your chair or on the floor. And we're going to start at the top of our head. So with our eyes closed, Gently turning your head to one side. And then slowly with control, turning back to center, going through center, and turning your head to the other side. And then slowly bringing your face back to center. And then tipping your head forward slowly and gently. Small tilt forward. And then slowly bringing your face back to center, going through center and tilting your head back. And then slowly bringing your face back to center. Take a moment to rest. And then lifting your shoulders, lifting both the shoulders up just gently towards your ears, just a small lift. And then slowly lowering your shoulders. And now we're going to focus on taking a couple of breaths and noticing what's happening in our torso. So nice deep breath, nice inhale. And exhale. And one more time, nice inhale. And really paying attention to the movement that's happening in your torso as you're taking these breaths. Exhale. Pay attention to what's happening in your rib cage and in your belly and in your back. And now moving down through your belly and your back and paying attention to how your back feels, and now into your pelvis and how your sits bones feel on the floor or on your chair now compared to when we started. And slowly moving through the rest of your body. And since you're already sitting, all you have to do now is open your eyes.